Hey people, it is Saturday the 30th of August. It is 8:57 p.m. and a pleasant 18 degrees. I am on the Toronto Metropolitan University campus. And I'm heading west towards Yonge Street. You can see Yonge Street sort of up ahead there, terminating the view. But I'm actually going to be heading to Church Street, which is nearby, actually behind me. But I thought first I would walk through this pedestrianized area here on the TMU campus. And I can hear Yonge Street over there. The so-called Muzak zone is straight ahead on that part of Yonge. But this whole area, going in all four directions, is pedestrianized here in the center of the TMU campus. This is looking south down Victoria Street and Gould Street, heading over to Church. And this is called Nelson Mandela Way. It's basically just the northern part of what was Victoria Street. Of course, it's quiet right now on campus, but classes are getting underway, I think. All the orientation has already begun. Frosh week and all that sort of thing. I think if I were to come here on Monday, well actually on Tuesday I guess, Monday is Labor Day, which is a holiday. If I were to come here on Tuesday, I think it'll be packed with students, and I might do exactly that, maybe make a video.
Respect the opinion. Now I can see how I will.
So this will take us up to Gerrard Street. And then I'll make my way over to Church. And I'm going to go north up Church. I'll take us through the Chuch-Wellesley village. We'll see what's happening there on a Saturday night. A regular Saturday night, not during Pride Week, which I think was the last time I took a walk through there. Of course, that was a complete over-the-top street party, if you saw that video. All right, just one block to the east, bring us to Church.
That's on the screen, lucky for you. No, I know, but
It's a very pleasant evening for strolling around the city. Summer technically continues on though until September 22nd or thereabouts, so even though it feels a bit like fall now, I'm almost certain we'll get another stretch of hot summer-like weather. But I am enjoying these cooler temperatures for now. start heading north. Maybe I'll cross to the other side of the street though. I wonder how long the Church Street barber shop has been there. And I haven't tried this pizza place, which is just a quick walk from my building in that corner. I remember there used to be a Starbucks there when I was new to the neighborhood. Got a 24-hour A&W here, also handy for me if I need it. Although I can't say I've ever needed it late at night. But it's nice to know that it's there if I do ever have a hankering for A&W at like 3 a.m. or something. This place closes at 9, so it's shut down for the night now. This is open till 4 a.m. That's more like it. Get some late night shawarma here. It smells really good. I've been reading some posts online recently about how the city has changed since the pandemic ended, and one of the main negative comments that I've seen over and over again is that there's hardly any late night restaurants anymore or grocery stores like there used to be. And I do remember before the pandemic that Metro grocery stores were open 24 hours. But I think they actually started reducing their hours before the pandemic even happened, so I don't know if you can blame it on that. And also there are fewer all-night diners and that sort of thing, according to what people are saying online anyway. But I think if you put some effort into it, you'll find there's still quite a selection of late night places around the city. Lots of them are new also. Maybe people aren't aware of them. So whenever I am walking around at night, I always sort of like to take note of what's open and what's not open. We're past 9 p.m. now, and most places are still open, except for that one spot we walked by. As far as restaurants go. This place is still full of people. Not sure how late they're open until, I don't see any hours listed on their door. It's crossing Wood Street. There's the hair of the dog. They're still going. Obviously, places that are bars will be obviously staying open late on a Saturday night. I remember a couple years ago I did a walk mostly around the east side of downtown here, where I just tried to spot as many 24-hour places as I could along Church and Yonge Street and various side streets. And there are actually quite a few. I'm not sure exactly how many, but there was no shortage of them. That was 2 years ago, around 2 years ago. Lots of them were obviously fast food places that maybe some people wouldn't count. But there are more than a few decent restaurants of all sorts. And I think on Yonge Street in particular, since then, a lot more have opened. There's been an influx of new restaurants on Yonge Street, say from College Street north to Bloor. And many of them are open quite late. Right, we're coming into the village. Chuch-Wellesley. So this is a regular Saturday night.
The right one for me because like he was like yeah, because he messaged me asking what I was doing tonight. Sailors is part of
a lot of these places have been here for decades. There's some good pizza. We got a whole string of well-known bars along here. Sailor, Flash, and Woody's. We got the Cruise and Tangos across the street. And I like all these little shops that are just below ground level. You see that a lot in some other neighborhoods such as Chinatown and Koreatown also. Not so much on Yonge Street though. On Yonge Street you have shops that are on the second floor though of a lot of storefronts. The Church Mouse, that's been there for a long time, not sure exactly how long. It's a very densely populated neighborhood. Most people live in high-rise apartments or condos. And the low-rise housing stock is mostly historic townhouses. Got your Craig's Cookies. Got your Stag Shop right across the street from the Love Shop. I always thought that was funny. They can glare at each other across to their competitor. the bunker. Sounds like you have to go down below, or actually look, you go up above. You go up to the bunker, not down to the bunker.
I would like to make that.
A little market here. No proper strip is complete without a good market to get some fruits and veggies.
One second. Sure, yeah. They filed for bankruptcy 3 years ago.
This neighborhood has survived for a good 40 or so years, if not more now. I think a lot of gay villages in various cities have sort of withered away in recent times. And a lot of talk has been said about the same thing happening here to Chuch-Wellesley, but it seems to be still doing okay, in my opinion. It obviously is very obviously a busy and thriving neighborhood. Not that it doesn't have its troubles and difficulties. There's issues with some unpleasant characters who hang out in the area, in a couple of parks in particular. Some stores have had to deal with some unpleasant situations and that sort of thing.
Wonderful.
Anvil Alley. I always got a kick out of that. In fact, this park we're coming upon right here, Barbara Hall Park, is the park that has caused a lot of trouble in the neighborhood.
You're getting very sassy, okay? No.
No, I was meant to go. But then you kept your mom.
And it's been ongoing for years now, and nothing seems to be done to clean it up, but I guess it's just something people are willing to put up with. There's Stormcrow Manor. Here's a 24-hour Hasty Market. And you can see the residential side streets, as I mentioned, are full of old 19th century row houses and some low-rise apartments from the 1920s or 30s for the most part, and they're mostly tree-lined, very pleasant streets. And a few taller apartment buildings can be found in between the older buildings. And some recent condos also have been making their way into the neighborhood, much taller ones. There's a street nearby where one of the old apartment buildings is actually about to be demolished to make way for a much taller new one. I think it's actually Isabella Street, which is right up ahead. Maybe I'll go take a look at the building to see if it's been any more demolished. It was just starting the initial stages of demolition a few weeks ago when I last walked past it. Here we are on Isabella. And it's still standing. Doesn't look like too much more has been done since my last visit. But it's completely gutted now. It's just an empty shell. And I think they're going to hack away from the top and work their way down when they begin full demolition. I wonder if any people are squatting inside there in the meantime. You can see another very similar building across the street. I wonder if it's just a matter of time before a developer buys that building and proposes the same thing. I'd be a bit nervous if I were living in some of these older apartment buildings in this part of town, because it seems to be happening more and more. I live in an older apartment building around the same size and vintage as this one, but on my street, it's very unlikely that's going to happen. Knock wood if you believe in that sort of thing. You can see how much taller the new buildings are that have been built in recent years. And a building of similar height will be replacing this one. I think 62 stories is proposed to replace this 14 or 15 story building. Just a little checkup. I'll be sure to come by when they start hacking away on it. Let's walk through this alleyway. I don't think I've ever walked through here before. I have a friend who lives in that building. I actually recorded a video from her condo, which was on the 28th floor. She has awesome views looking right towards the bulk of the downtown skyline. You can find that on the channel. It's in my Toronto Features playlist. But she's moving away. She won't be there much longer. You can hear my keys jingling in my pocket. And I think Charles Street is right here. This street is almost entirely made up of tall condos and apartments now. There are a few old historic low-rises still hanging on. A few designated ones that are protected and won't likely ever be demolished. They're all mostly behind me, going towards Yonge Street. They have a handy 24-hour Rabba right at the base of the building. Rabbas are handy, but they're expensive. Hey, a Papa John's opened here. This used to be a different pizza place called Panago, and it closed down several years back and was empty until just recently, I assume. This must have just opened within the last month or so. We got a Rooster Coffee. So you're pretty much covered if you live in that building. You got a dry cleaner, you got 24-hour Rabba, which is a small grocery store, you got the pizza place, you got a coffee shop. Why in the world is my friend moving away? I know why. She bought a house, a detached house. Still in the city though, but just not downtown. Right, we're crossing Isabella. And now we're crossing Jarvis. So I'm heading south, kind of back down towards where I live. Somebody threw something? Okay. I think it was some sketch bag who saw me recording and decided to try and throw some glass at me. I saw him sitting over there, but I just figured if he didn't bother me, I wouldn't bother him, but he decided to try and bother me. That's what sketch bags do. Lowlifes. whatever term you want to use. All right, this is Earl Place. This is a nice little residential side street. Got more tall condos proposed here also to replace some of these older buildings, although these ones aren't actually too old. Already they're up for redevelopment. But a lot of these are quite old here. I'm going to start to wrap up the video. I hope you enjoyed the Saturday night walk around the east side of downtown, mainly along Church Street. Checked out Chuch-Wellesley Village and some of the side streets, seeing what was going on. And we got some fighting raccoons or something up there. Yeah, raccoons are fighting up there. Holy moly. But I hope you enjoyed the walk. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. If you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store, or you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member, or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram also under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and thanks to all the channel members. And be sure to keep checking back, because as always, I will continue. Hey, you raccoons, stop it. Stop fighting. Stop fighting, raccoons. Can't you all get along? They're up on the wires at the top of the tree. Behave.